Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Happy Friday to everybody, and welcome back to another stream. This will be a short one today. I can almost guarantee that because I'm absolutely starving and I need to eat. All right, so I know I say that all the time. Something tells me this will be actually a short stream. So we'll see how it rolls. But welcome to another stream. Welcome back. Don't forget, if you have not already, please do me a favor and click the like button before we get started. That will get all the people in here that usually show up, because my YouTube notifications are not working properly, guys. So I do appreciate it. That is really something that could help in exchange for YouTube's foolery. But yeah, how's it going, everybody? Let's see who we got in the chat already, and then we'll get right into it. Shuba, what's going on, man? Rick Coswell, what's going on, Rick? Invu, what's up? Roar Nation, hey, you're here early. Cool. Dogecoin with the dip into the teens once more before the big bounce. Bet. I think you're right on the right track, sir. And Alex, what's going on, man? So we're not going to waste too much time, guys. There's a couple things I want to talk about. No clickbait in the title, of course. And thank you guys for the likes so far. Let's see if we can keep getting them up. Do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, what's going on, man? So bullish signals in the market, guys. Bullish signals in the market. And I'm just going to go right into talking about what those signals are. And there's a couple of them. There's two. One's going to be the golden cross. Everyone loves to talk about the golden cross. I really don't like patterns that much, guys. I mean, you know, I'm a technical trader, but I don't like talking about patterns too much, because a lot of the patterns and a lot of the indicators that are observed in the market just reiterate obvious things. The golden cross is one of those obvious things. But the good thing about the golden cross is that it tells a lot of other traders that just aren't so experienced, that really look for those kind of things, like, ooh, this is great news, and it creates some bullish hype. That's the only reason you should really care about a golden cross. What a golden cross is the short-term time frame EMA that follows the price action pretty tightly, crossing above the longer-term time frames EMA that follows it way more loosely. So usually on an uptrend, well, let's just say on a downtrend, for example. This isn't so. When you're coming down, you can see the 50 EMA blue line here following the price action very close, but the 200 EMA was following it really loosely, right? It's a slower moving indicator. Okay, but then as the trend started to reverse, after the reverse already happened, it bounced here and started making new highs. At some point there, then the 50 EMA then crossed above the 200 EMA indicator. But if you had no indicators on your screen and you weren't looking for, ooh, a golden cross, you literally could have just looked right here, just like I did, and saw we made a lower low back to the two previous areas of support, and we kind of did like almost an inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. And at this point, I was thinking, oh, we're bullish. When was I thinking we're bullish? Way before the golden cross happened a couple days later. This was 3 days later that we got a golden cross. So you could have been in at 32,000 instead of being in at like 35 or later. So golden cross is cool for people that look for a golden cross, but if you can just identify obvious trends in the price action, you won't need to look for golden crosses, okay? But my point is, we are getting close to a golden cross scenario on Bitcoin, and so people are getting a little bit excited. And let me just try and figure out which time frame that was on, so bear with me. Because everybody's talking about it now. So now I need to figure out, oh, which time frame are they talking about the golden cross today? Please hold, because I did not look at this first. Typically, it's the 50 crossing over the 200. That's the most obvious golden cross. They could be talking about the 50 crossing back over the 100 right here. That's actually the way it looks. Because you can see we came down, crossed below on this downtrend here, and now we're about to cross back over. So that's most likely the golden cross they're talking about. Shorter time frame crossing over a higher time frame. Obvious stuff, honestly. But anyway, that's not the point I really want to talk about too much. Because like I said, that doesn't mean too much in my opinion. What is the real sign that we're even going to have a golden cross? What can we look at in the price action that indicates we could be at the bottom and we're going to bounce and cause that reversal to the upside that will then, a couple days later, create the golden cross of the two indicators? And that's where things get a little more obvious. And that's what I really wanted to talk about. Some potentially bullish signs here that I'm starting to see in the crypto market. If you go to a smaller time frame, let's just do the 5 minute, for example. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So if you were in the stream yesterday, what I told you guys was that there was just a couple things we needed to look at in order to remain in a bullish mindset going forward. And thank you guys for those likes. Let's see if we can even get a couple more. If you don't mind smashing that button for me, I do appreciate it. Hate to ask, but it's the only thing that works. So what can we really look at that's going to tell us we're still in a good spot and we're probably going to continue up here versus we're doing a pullback here that's not going to stop as a pullback, but that's going to turn into a sell-off? What can we look at for that kind of indication? There is just a couple things I said to look at. Use a high frame. Okay, hopefully it's a little better, guys. Sorry. Let's see. Hey, thank you, Matt's Market, for the renewal of that membership, man. I do appreciate that. And if my stream's lagging, guys, please just let me know in the chart and in the comments. I am seeing some weird things happening. But this is what I told you guys to look at. Look for the pullback to happen, and it should happen. There's nothing wrong with the pullback, but mind the EMA levels, primarily where the 50 EMA is sitting and where the 200 EMA is sitting. So very conveniently, the 50 EMA was sitting right at about 47,000 flat, which is not only a EMA level at this point, but then it's going to be a mental level because it's 47,000 even. So that's going to be a mental level of support. And then you also have, just as you looked across here, you could see there was some resistance there at 47,000, and then going back, a lot of trading activity that kind of stopped at that 47,000 level. So it was already an established support. So multiple levels of support at 47,000. That was the first spot. Second level of support, our worst case scenario would have been right under 47,000 at 46,500 or so. And you can see here, that's exactly where the 200 EMA was about sitting. And that's exactly where this orange line sits as well. And that orange line comes from resistance here, some support, resistance here, support, support, resistance, resistance. And you can go back even further, but I like to look at things shorter term for my immediate levels. So from that look at the chart, you could see that if we got a pullback, the best spots to bounce off of would have been 47,000, or if we needed to go under that, a rejection off the 46,600 or 700 area. And what you can see here is that is exactly what started to happen on the 4-hour time frame here. We got a pullback, a bounce, another pullback that dipped, tried to hold at 47,000. It wasn't a deep enough pullback, so we got a bit of a fake out move under the 47,000 level, but bounced off of, if you had charted your chart out properly, you would have seen the level to really be aware of, which was the 46,005 or 600 area. So that you didn't get faked out and think we were just going to crash to the floor because we failed 47. But you can see we had an even stronger level, a real floor there at 46.5, and that we should have expected a bounce from there. And we did. So far, still bullish sentiment with Bitcoin. And then now we want to start looking at, since we got our bounce that we would have wanted, if we can go down to a smaller interval time frame and look at the patterns that are starting to happen, how is the price action forming? Is it looking bearish at this point in time at this 100 EMA, or is it still looking bullish? Like, what's going on? So now that we've got that top-down analysis and been able to tell things look good from the outside, let's start to go to the inside and kind of look at what's starting to form here. Well, now what you can see is that when we reached this top of 48,000, we started doing some pullbacks. We got those bounces to where I talked about, but the most recent price action movement was right here. A bit of, what does that start to look like? This is where we are so far. If you're familiar with patterns, you know that this is starting to form somewhat of what we call a double bottom. A double bottom is a very, very, very bullish reversal pattern that usually then goes to the upside here, and it looks like a W. That's, 2 touches to the bottom and then a move up. If that's not super clear, what we can do is even go down to a smaller time frame, and you start to see that that V or that W becomes even clearer. A sell-off to 40, so right at the 200 EMA support level, by the way, which was our strongest level of support to get a clean bounce, a pullback to that, a move up, another pullback to that, and another rejection wick move up. Very, very positive, potentially bullish signs. And then you can even go down smaller time frame, and this double bottom W pattern gets just clearer and clearer, until you get down here. Then it gets jumbled up because you're looking at too many candles, but you can still see the idea here. So though that's a very, very powerful bullish sign. A double bottom pattern off of the 200 EMA level of support on a bull run during the pullback. A double bottom right at support. Extremely bullish in my opinion. And I think, if it's me, and here's the thing, guys, overall, patterns and technicals are secondary to emotion. Emotion is what really drives people to buy or sell. And a lot of times it's emotion that drives people to buy or sell while they're looking at the chart. But emotion for buying and selling a lot of times can be powered by things that are going on in the market. News, for example. What's going on with the government? How are they cracking down on crypto? What catalysts do we have against us and for us? Those kind of things are primarily what drives the price. Patterns are secondary for looking to get better ideas of what's going to happen by the way things are starting to play out, and to look for potential entry and sell points. So, though this is forming a double bottom pattern and it looks strong, please keep in mind that we are also mid-September. We have less than 2 weeks before October 1st, and there is a negative catalyst that is being held against us, with the infrastructure bill still needing to be passed by that deadline of within the next 2 weeks. So within the next 2 weeks, we will be hearing more from the Senate and the House of Representatives and the government in general regarding the cryptocurrency regulations, and that will most likely kill off a lot of our momentum temporarily. So depending on whether the whales decide to factor that in or not, could directly contribute into whether or not we really take off like a rocket here, or we have a nice bullish reversal pattern, but it just kind of stalls out. So please keep real world events in mind. They are the most important. But at the same time, if we're just trying to analyze the chart, real good, strong, positive price movement here. And so far things are looking good. Now I will say, also keep in mind that with this pattern, to be a true double bottom, you do need to retrace back to the top of that. So until that happens, it's not quite a double bottom. All right. And so though we've gotten 2 touches at the bottom, what can sometimes happen is, you just get like what looks like, 2 touches, and then it just kind of, ends up becoming some other pattern and then a sell off. To really confirm that we got a double bottom off that, what we'd want to see is what's happening so far, but then this really form a W to where this bounce off this move here ends up coming up and clearing this area. So until we get above, let's see what price that is that we stopped at. We need to get above $46,650, or let's just say $46,600. We need to get above this 200 EMA here and where this candle closed to confirm that we did a double bottom at support, and now we are going to bullishly reverse to the upside. So that's the level to look at, 46,600 and above. Write that down if you need to. Put a note in your phone, draw it out on your chart, do whatever you need to do. 47,600. That's when we've had a double bottom pattern form, and we should be good to continue to rock it up. That would be a really healthy pullback here. That'd be a really healthy pullback right here, a double bottom at support, and then a bullish continuation up, whether that's then to double top out at 48.5 and then do a sell-off, which could happen, or to break above that and do a continued bull run. Either way, it would be a move up with some gains to be had. So that's what we want to look at. Hope that makes sense. Any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments. So that's what we've got going on with Bitcoin. Now, other than the infrastructure bill, which I really think is the only thing even slowing down Bitcoin's potential movement here, as some whales are probably just trying to play it smart, Bitcoin has been getting some really, really good news, good catalysts. I mean, we know that El Salvador's got the legal tender going. We know that Panama is another country that's been entertaining the idea of also introducing it as a common method of payment. We got news from AMC about them accepting Bitcoin as a method of payment, and not only Bitcoin, but then Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, I think Ethereum as well. I forget the last one. Maybe it was Ethereum, maybe it wasn't. But either way, just great news for cryptocurrency. And these are things that are going to drive the market up too. So many bullish catalysts. The only thing holding us back, infrastructure bill and Elon Musk, waiting on him to get that Tesla thing going again. But both of those things, shouldn't be too concerned about the infrastructure bill if the whales activity so far has given us anything to go by, because they didn't completely dump when the news dropped. And then other than that, I mean, Elon Musk, yes, he's influential, but we will still rally in price when needed. We just might do it a little slower until he reverts that suspension. So we're looking good. I'm feeling positive about the market, and I just wanted to share that TA with you guys. Thoughts on Brain Trust BTRST? I am not familiar with that, Raphael. I do apologize. Doge Scotland, what's going on? Yes, sir. Glad to be here on time, brother. Hope everybody's doing great. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing good. And yeah, glad to see you, man. Why did Doge go to 26 cents overnight? I wasn't able to find anything a really good explanation on that. Doge had a nice rally and then it had a pretty big pullback. I'm not exactly sure why. Couldn't find any Twitter news that really indicated why it happened. Just seemed like maybe it was a bit of a pump from a group or something, and people really started to pick up and started to buy into that. But I was not able to find anything that told me this is why that pump happened, unfortunately. If anyone else in this chat or stream did notice something, please enlighten me. This is for, I enjoy the conversation. Dorota, what's going on? How's it going? Stoic, what's up? Rick says, am I back in? So yes, I am actually in. Most of you guys know this by now. I have not really been trading Dogecoin too much. I recently have just gotten a little turned off by things in the Dogecoin space. I am not anti-Dogecoin by any means. I still love Doge and wish it the best, and will continue to support it and invest in it when price movement looks good. But I just think this is a really unfortunate time in the Doge community. Just a lot of stuff going on I don't particularly agree with, and the price is starting to suffer, in my opinion, because of that. So just based off of that, like social sentiment gauge, it's in the red for me. I'm just not feeling too bullish on the Dogecoin community doing their part in supporting Dogecoin's price action. So, but I do know that ADA has Cardano, has the smart contract catalyst, and there's a couple other things coming up here within the next week or so that could potentially cause ADA to have a really nice run. So between the things that I usually trade, which is Dogecoin, ADA, and Ethereum, ADA right now seems to have the most bullish potential if we go up on Bitcoin here. So that is what I'm going long on. And I do have a position, a very small position. I'm not in 100%. I'm in probably about 25 or less on ADA, but I think my average is 241. I'm just waiting for us to get clear evidence that, we've double bottomed here and we look like we're going to go up. And then I'll probably increase that to 50 or 75% and let that thing give me produce some tendies for me. But that's where I'm at. Have I checked out Hex? Yes, I have. Hex looks like a cool program and a cool idea. Those kind of things are just not for me. I am a trader, so guys, please keep that in mind. A lot of the programs, and there's a lot of these different projects too, where you put your money in, just like Hex, like you put your money in and you hold it there and you get rewarded for it. Being a trader, I like to actively interact with my investments. I like to buy, sell frequently, and be hands-on. So those kind of like buy and hold things really bore me, and they take all the fun out of it. I like to have that feeling of constantly working for my money. And call me weird for that. A lot of people would just like to get it for free, but I like to be hands-on and know I was the reason for it. So those kind of things, they're not my favorite. But I think Hex is it looks like a pretty solid concept, and it'll probably continue to skyrocket and succeed. But of course, invest with caution, because you never know when the pullback will be. And then, Mikey, what's going on? Dogecoin to the moon. Absolutely to the moon, to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. I am with you 100% there. I would love to see Doge get to 50 cents, 75 cents, and then $1. And I'm waiting for this rally to really pick up. And that's going to be super exciting. But yeah, guys, just keep an eye on that chart. We need to move up here to fully double bottom, okay? Because the other way to look at this would be to draw a trend line from the high across the next point here. And that tells us that we also do have resistance here. If you're looking at, if people are drawing their charts out like this and seeing maybe a triangle starting to form, you've got resistance at about 46,000 500 or so. And so we're going to need to clear that trend line and break above that to really finish the double bottom pattern, because we need that to be a W, right? So we need to get above this area right here where these two white lines are, and then we'll be good. I think we'll be heading up. Other than that, guys, I was just watching a quick video from Michael doing some informative watching. I was just watching a video from Michael Rubel, who always does good videos and informative stuff too. I watch other people as well. I encourage you to do the same. And he was just talking about one of the catalysts that we actually have for Cardano is there's going to be a Cardano Summit on September the 25th, and they're apparently going to be announcing some partnerships that they say are going to blow our minds. So if you've been looking for a potential catalyst in the crypto space and you're into Cardano, September 25th, I assume on the day of or the day before, there's probably going to be a little bit, at least, of a hype run up. So if Bitcoin happens to be in the red just a little bit, Cardano will probably be that crypto that is a little bit in the green with that anticipation. And then potentially we could see a big spike if they announce something that seems to be groundbreaking and everybody buys into that hype. So I am in Cardano, and that is only 7 or 8 days out at this point. So September 25th, Cardano Summit. If it's during the day and something that's live streamed, I will try and cover it for you guys, and I'm super excited about that. And also good news for Cardano as well. It has already surpassed 100 smart contracts successfully running on the Cardano network. Many reasons to be bullish on Cardano. Many reasons. Plenty of room to catch up to Ethereum in its current state. Can be argued that fundamentally or technically it's already better than Ethereum. You just have to factor in, the amount of smart contracts that are successfully running. Ethereum definitely has the better ecosystem right now, but Cardano with a better foundation until ETH2 has a lot of room to move here. You could see market cap wise, 77 billion right now on Cardano, Ethereum 418. That gives Cardano a pretty comfortable 3 to 3.5x opportunity before it would match Ethereum. So 2x is pretty conservative, and I could see us to $5 pretty soon. So that's kind of my deduction, what I'm deducing. Shuba says options expire on Friday, so how do you find the number for where people need to be shorts versus longs? I think just a Google search will get you that, but I don't usually look at that too much. Chaz Mandu, hopefully he's around because he usually has that data, but I forget to look at the options expiry sometimes. But just a Google search on Bitcoin option expiry should help you find that pretty quick. Harry Clay says, any thoughts on Solana recovering from the outage? Solana really had an extreme run up anyway. So, I mean, an outage is an outage. You hate to see it, but Solana really had a crazy run up from like the $50, $60, $70 range all the way up to $210. It was due for a pullback anyway. I don't think Solana's going to have another crazy run quite like that for a bit. And the outage probably solidified the fact that, all right, we had our bull run, time to cool off and reload for another one later. So there'll probably be a little bit of a break before you get another massive run on Solana, which is fine. There's plenty of other opportunities, and there's plenty of opportunity for you to find another point to reload and add more capital into that position if you're bullish on it. So I think that's a good thing. It's always positive to have upward price action followed by a nice pullback and a cool down. That's kind of my thoughts. But overall, that shouldn't be something to really concern us unless they start having multiple outages. Then that could really put Solana in a bad spot, because when you can compare that to something like Ethereum or Cardano or something else that isn't suffering from outages, if Solana already has like 2 or 3 under their belt, that's going to be a really bearish thing that's going to be hard to forget. But I don't think one's such a big deal. And what's going on, Preezy? Thanks for hanging out. Any other questions for me, guys? Yeah, Solana had a crazy run. So usually once things start getting that extended, I trim my bullishness and I just say, all right, I'm going to accept that this could be potentially over. and it could be pullback time, and pullbacks are good. Pullbacks give you an opportunity to go short and make money off the move down, or to just sell at the top and reload at the bottom of that pullback. Take your capital that you got, cash out, buy back in at a lower point, and then ride the wave back up and make even more money. Like, volatility in the market is your best friend as long as you're doing things the right way. So I have nothing against Solana selling off. As long as we still believe it's going to go up long term, that is the goal. You like the short videos that I did? Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. I'm going to try and do some more of those, especially on days where the market is slow, and when things are happening. Right, when things are happening and it's not usually our live time, I'll definitely try and do some more YouTube shorts for you guys. It seems like it kind of got the point across nice and quick. So yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that feedback. What's going on, Ryan? Harry says, I got some good gains from it, but I'm holding a good bit still. Yeah, I understand. I don't think Solana's done, long term. Definitely not. Like I said yesterday, and I didn't get to it, guys, so we'll have to put that on hold. Today was crazy. I wanted to have a list of like level 1 smart contract blockchain solutions to recommend, like competition to Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and so on. Some smaller projects that we could maybe look into as potential good money gainers. That one, I will still do that ASAP, but couldn't do it quite yet. Couldn't have it done for this stream. But that whole sector I am super bullish on. I think while Ethereum is down, Ethereum, in my opinion, right now is injured. It is injured. It is at the worst that it's going to be. So, and that's because the system it got so popular that it's severely overloaded and it can't handle the bandwidth, and the fees, the cost to use it is really, really becoming a deterrent. And that really makes the everyday consumer start to look at, well, what else can I use? What other options do I have? I don't want to pay $200 to send $5 to my friend. What else can I do? I don't want to pay $500 to mint my NFT so that someone else can buy it for $300, So now you're starting to see the competition really be able to shine. Cardano, Solana, and some of these others, Polygon, so on and so forth. This is the layer 1 solution's time to shine. When ETH2 hits, we might have a whole nother problem. So I want to be bullish on these smart contract blockchain solutions in the time that we have. And then when ETH2 hits, it might be ETH2's time to shine again. And then we have to look into another sector again to find what's next to be bullish on, whether that's retail coins, store value coins, like you know what I mean, like the Safe Moon type things where you put your money in and they give you return on your investment type thing. Who knows? As long as it's not risky. It was 100 away from 10x in 1 month. Yeah, that is insane and not normal. So probably about done, ready for a cool off. Hey, Mariano, looking fresh with the shave. Thank you. I hate shaving and being clean shaven like this, but I do appreciate it. It's a different look, I guess, for sure. Thanks for the kind comment. Doge Scotland, that sounds good. Awesome. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to keep this short and to the point today. I am malnourished. We'll use that word. That's the vibe right now. I feel malnourished, not just hungry. So I'm going to go get some food. You guys should do the same and enjoy your Friday. Have some good drinks maybe. I don't know. Enjoy the weekend. Get it started off right. But like I said, in summary, I am still going to be bullish as long as we don't go under this area here, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin, which currently is sitting at $46,650, okay? If we can stay above that, I think we're good. Honestly, we already had kind of a double bottom setup. It would be much better if we just don't go back down under 47,000 again and even get close to that. Because if we do, people are going to start to get a little worried. So let's just say no more pullbacks to this area. And as long as we can break above $47,600, that should confirm that we've hit a double bottom. And that could be the signal that we are ready to head up, go back to 48,000 and even beyond. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Twitter if you don't already at 2020 Tech Reviews. Link is also in the description if you want to go ahead and give me a follow and stay posted for any updates that I'll, I talk about Dogecoin, my thoughts on stuff and everything else when I'm not streaming there. So you can check me out there. And also, if you have not already, click subscribe so that you can be here for the next stream, which is usually pretty much every day of the week. So do I think the bottom is Doge? And thank you, Doge Scotland. Appreciate the kind comment there. HBAR has 5 million invested. 5 billion. Wow, that's huge. And that's my point. Like, a lot of these projects are really starting to take off, so we got to diversify a bit. Thank you, Doge Scotland. Breezy. I think Doge is fine. I see the same thing on Dogecoin. I'm not too worried about Doge. So if we were just to take a look, and I'll just wrap it up right here. If we were to take a look, we've kind of got the same idea, kind of the double bottom. And on Doge, we need to kind of break above that 24.5 cent range. Really 24.3 is about where we need to get above. And if we can do that, we're looking like a double bottom on Doge as well. So all positive vibes so far. So that's good. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for the support, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow or shortly thereafter in the next stream. Have a great day.